Hey, welcome back to Northwest Premier's Playoff Roundup Week 1. My name is Clarence Presley. This is Deshaun Presley, and this is Charles Burnham. Good to be back, fellas.
Definitely.
Yes, sir.
Hey, it's been a heck of a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We just finished our first week of playoff football in Northwest Premier.
32 teams.
Hey, man, some special.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
Something special. There's some things going down. We're going to just touch base off of last week's review. We'll first start off with last Saturday. We dealt with our Gray division, the number 1 seed in the Gray versus the number 4 seed. At the freshman level, we had the Rainier Ravens playing Auburn Panthers.
It was a great game. From the outset, though, I think it began a little lopsided, man. I think that just overall the Rainier Ravens, man, were just a little too much for Auburn. Great teams, don't get me wrong, on both sides. Just that offensive backfield. Jay Sean Wilson is something else, man. The kid is, he's extremely fast, man, and that defense is just extremely fast, and their coach will. You know what I mean? And no slight, man. Dre, he did a great job with his kids this year.
Shout out Dre.
Yeah, definitely did a great job with them. And they came out to play. It just overall, man, it was just too much speed on that side. Man, so.
But I'm really impressed though, man. This is Auburn's first year in our league.
Yeah.
And, they got a bright future.
They do.
They're 2 younger teams making the playoffs. Out of 12 franchises.
Right.
So again, special shout out to Auburn, Tiki, McKenzie.
Yeah.
You guys are doing a great job.
Great job.
Let's shift over to the sophomore game because we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
Now this was an interesting game.
Yeah.
That first half,
Yeah.
CD versus Benson.
Right.
It was a stalemate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say it was 14-0 at half.
I believe so.
Yeah.
No. It was 0-0.
Yeah, it was 0-0 half.
Oh, 0.
Yeah, they didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't score until I think it started second half.
Yeah,
I believe.
you're right.
Yeah.
Because we kept saying we were standing there at halftime.
Right.
We said one slip up, this thing could go the other way real fast.
Right.
Yep.
And it was definitely a great ball game too as well. I mean, I just think that those guys, they came out and played pretty hard. You know what I mean? Benson, they held that middle down. You know what I mean? And there wasn't too much wiggle room to get through the middle. But like we always say, man, with CD, man, it's just their speed is something else, man.
Well, and that's why we were talking during the game, and I really would have liked to see. I really thought Benson was on to something, attacking CD between the tackles in the first half. They seemed to be able. They had more success sustaining drives when they were inside the box.
Right.
Then they started venturing outside the box, and that's where they started. Guys were running backwards.
Yeah.
They were, CD's speed made them bow out when they attacked the perimeter, and guys were getting tackled behind the chains, getting the team off schedule. And so I think I would have liked to seen Benson come out in the second half and just be very religious about staying between the tackles and attacking CD because they moved the ball well. In one quarter, I want to say they dominated time of possession. Yeah. Because they kept inside the tackle.
That was a great game plan as far as trying to dominate the football, not giving CD so many opportunities with the football. Yep. And I don't know what happened second half. They kind of went away from that whole game plan, and I think that's where they kind of started to lose things.
I think what happened, it's one thing to plan it, another thing to do it. I think Benson did a great job of watching film. It was their defense the first half. They contained the outside. They forced everything inside. They went back to that in the second half. From what I saw, the problem was a couple of times the corners just got lost. And if you give CD the edge, they're going to take it. And I saw a couple of times where the corner ran right by the guy running the ball in the second half. And it's just it's a discipline. But overall, those kids, and it was only maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 slip-ups. And that's all it takes with CD.
But I think the backbreaker in that game was Coach Sean was much more cautious with the ball in the first half. I think that's why we saw a 0-0 game in the first half. Then you saw as he got a 14-point lead, now all of a sudden he started throwing the ball. And he had a lot of success throwing it too, out in the flats and downfield. And that quarterback, I don't know Young Buck's name, man, but on the move with the rock in his hand, and he threw some dimes on the roll.
Caden Powers.
Is that Powers? Yeah. On the move, rolling to his right. He threw some dimes. And you saw Sean, once he got the 2 touchdown lead, you saw him open things up. and that's how they were able to dominate that clock in the fourth quarter.
Not to mention, I seen a great catch in that ball
Yeah.
game as well.
Was that the one when he's laying
That's
down?
by no. That was by Joey's son.
Oh yeah,
Joey Thomas?
Yeah,
Little
JoJo.
Yeah, in the east end zone over
man,
the top. Yeah.
It was one of those. I'm jumping over. I'm
Took a
gonna
Julio
take it away
Jones
from
from
you.
him, yeah.
Oh
Really.
man, it was
Yeah, he
it was
snatched
an
it right off his
awesome
helmet.
catch, man.
Yeah.
That was one of the nicest catches I've seen. I've seen all season. So
Yeah.
definitely shout out to them, man. They played a great game. It came down to game plans being executed, and I think CD just came away with it, man.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and keep moving. We got a lot to cover. In that junior game, we saw SeaTac Sharks play Rainier Ravens juniors. Man, that was just a dominant game. I
Yeah.
just think that SeaTac, man, right now on the junior level, they're like a steamroller.
They
man.
are.
They're
They
just
Better
are.
be physical.
they're,
if you're
they're
gonna play.
rolling anything and everything that's in front of them, and they're hitting you with. It's like body blows. It's
Right.
almost like watching boxing. They,
Right.
most guys are swinging for the head. They're beating you up in the gut.
Yeah.
Because they're coming right up the gut and they're just socking you in the stomach, and then that body just weakens, man, and they can knock you out real quick. So I want to give them a shout out, man. They just continue to impress us week in, week out. And a special, prayer for the young man from the Ravens who got injured with the lower back injury. We never want to see that. And again, to all the teams that made the playoffs, just shout out to you guys for getting this far. Anything you guys want to touch on the CTAC before we move?
With SeaTac, man, there's two different things that I want to mention. First and foremost, Papa for 260 yards in the first half.
Was that 260?
260 in the first half. He had, I believe, it was 2 or 3 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken.
But what about him on the perimeter though?
No,
That's what that was like.
What blew
caught my attention. I was
What
like,
blew us away, and me and Chuck were standing next to each other, is a lot of people, they're all mesmerized by his size. He's a very huge young man. But at the end of the day, his pull-away speed is what
he ran
shocks
with
you.
some little dude.
I mean, we're watching him literally. I mean, and it was no contest. I mean, being able to just pull away. So that in itself, is just mind blowing. Just seeing his size and his speed. But also, I want to give a shout out to their offensive line. Their offensive line. I know Papa's a big guy, but they open those holes for him to be able to even get through. Across the board, you go from tackle to tackle, man. And they believe in blocking into the second level. They don't just stay there and just play pity pat with whoever's in front of them. They move you and they get to the second level and clear you out. So
an absolute kryptonite to a big running back is backfield penetration by the defense. If the defense is standing in the backfield as he's taking the handoff, now he's got no momentum. You don't see that in these CTAC games.
Right.
This dude's getting to the first level in a hurry. Nobody's standing in the backfield causing problems, making him change direction, forcing him to evade tacklers. He's getting a full head of steam, and by the time he gets to the second level, good night, see you later.
Right.
That's tough.
I agree.
And let's transition over, you guys. Now, the Gray senior number 1 was the Ravens, played SeaTac, and the Ravens pulled away with that victory in that game.
Right.
It was close.
Cut it out.
Only Chuck.
Only Chuck.
Yeah.
Is this guy.
Right. No, it was in the beginning. It started out. I think SeaTac was a little hampered by injuries, so it kind of they limped into these playoffs.
And big up to them. Playing, finishing
definitely,
the game out.
definitely. They still came out and competed and did what they needed to do against a tough Ravens team. I mean, this team has gone undefeated this year. You know what I mean in league play. So I mean, it was. It got a little lopsided, after a couple quarters, but those kids showed heart and strength. They stayed out there and still played a ball game. So, like I said, hats off to them, to the SeaTac Sharks on the senior level. Awesome
stuff, guys. Let's go ahead and move over to our green division. On Sunday, we had the green number 1 and number 4, and that first game in the freshman level was the Puget Sound Lancers, I believe, against SWAC.
It was
Cougars.
It was.
And Puget Sound Lancers moved forward in the playoffs with the W. Anything you guys take away from that game?
It was another ball game that started off in the beginning that it was to the point of being sort of lopsided. I mean, just being honest, it was just too much in the backfield. They have a dynamic backfield. One of the kids, I believe his name is, if I'm not mistaken, Aaron Jack, I believe. Aaron Jack and Ches Carson, I believe. And they're just able to just run rampant, man. They're quick kids. You could tell that they understand movement on the field. They're able to get loose with no problem. And it just, after a while, it just became a lopsided ball game. But, hats off to both teams. They both came out, with a game plan, and, Puget Sound was just able to execute a little bit better.
Yeah. And then on the sophomore level, we had the Lancers again. They were playing the Beacon Hill Cowboys and Puget Sound Lancer. This is Coach Reggie Thomas' team. Pulled away with the W.
Yeah. Hey, man. Reggie's got them boys playing, man. And they look good doing it. You know what I mean? It isn't a scrappy win. They're going out and they're dominating. They have a running back. His first name is, I believe his name is Christopher, if I'm pronouncing it wrong, Viamu.
Big cat number 15.
Oh man, he runs with so much power, man. Yeah. He almost puts you in the mind frame of a Papa at that level. I mean, he's hard to bring down. You're not gonna be able to tackle
him to the wheels fall.
There's no arm tackling.
Reggie don't even blink about giving that 25.
And he is a player on both sides of the ball. Will come up and hit you. So Reggie, he's got a plan, man. I see why he can. Poke his chest out a little bit. He got a squad, man. So yeah, definitely both hats off to both of those squads as well. Beacon Hill, they came out and they played a great game as well. But it's always down to executing your plan. So. Yeah.
Then on that junior level in the green 1 and 4, it was 5-star, the number 1 seed, taking on White Center, and 5-star came away with the win.
They did, and 5-star came out from the gate. Through a great touchdown pass. I believe Chris Norris had 3 touchdown catches in this game. Also a shout out to Jason Brown, ran the ball extremely well. They just had a game plan that really worked in their favor against a White Center team, White Center defense. White Center, they came out, they had a couple nice plays, that worked in their favor. But at the end of the day, 5-star pulled it off.
Yeah. And then finally, in our senior division of the green, 1 and 4 was Puget Sound Lancers with the victory over White Center Seahawks.
And it was one of those ball games, man, that they kind of came limping into the playoffs.
Kind of like CTAC.
Kind of like CTAC, excuse me. Came in limping into the playoffs, but showed a lot of heart and resiliency. Came out, played hard, but. I mean, they're playing against a great Puget Sound Lancers team, man. They haven't been scored on all season, you know what I mean? And they dominated from the outset, you know what I mean? And like I said, hats off to those coaches, especially that coaching staff over there at White Center. Even though that you knew you were shorthanded, you guys still put forth the effort to help these boys get to the next level. And so, like I said, the game ended up being lopsided towards the end, but it was a great game overall. Shout out to the Lancers.
Well, I'm excited to get to the next couple brackets on Sunday. That was the 2 versus 3. They seem to be where all the action is at. Not that those other games, there was some action that we mentioned earlier, but the 2-3, you saw some. There was almost a couple of upsets.
Auburn was the place to be, Sunday morning.
Both Auburn and Rainier Beach. So we'll start off with you, Chuck, since you was out at Auburn. In the 2-3 division, in the freshman division, you have Beacon Hill Cowboys versus 5-star. Beacon Hill came away with the win. Talk about that game.
That was a knockdown, drag-out, double OT.
Double OT?
Double OT, fresh, and 5-star in the second overtime fumbled the center quarterback exchange on their last series in overtime.
Wow.
And SWAC recovered.
Wow.
Or Beacon Hill.
I'm sorry, and Beacon Hill recovered at the freshman level.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
To win the game.
Okay.
And then so that was a great game. Then you had right after that, you had the sophomore game, 5-star and SWAC, and 5-star lost one of its best players, Jeremiah Nonu, the big fullback.
Right.
They lost him. I go over to him. He's got a fever. He's sweating. Swollen glands. He just looks horrible.
Yeah.
And so they put him on the bench. They give him water, and coach tells me, no, he's not coming back in unless I get to the 1-yard line. Sure enough, fourth quarter comes. They get down inside the 5. They give him the ball. He scores to tie it up in regulation. And then they send it into overtime, and he scores the game-winning touchdown in double OT to win it.
Really?
One.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Crazy
And
games.
it's-
Those are memories that
Yeah.
they're going to
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Definitely.
And shout out to SWAC also on that.
Yeah.
Both
Great
SWAC and
showing.
5-star both getting into those double OTs. You guys were playing out there, man.
Yeah, definitely.
The junior game, it came down to Puget Sound Lancers playing Beacon Hill Cowboys.
Just sheer dominance. Marcus all over the place. Marquand, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
McGraney all over the place. They tried to run it. Beacon Hill didn't, they had a lot of trouble running it in the first half. Second half, they did have success running it on the perimeter. I mean, they took some huge chunks out of the Lancers in the second half. But that defense was dominant.
Okay.
They gave them fits the
right.
whole game, and they were very dominant on defense. The game was much lower scoring than I thought it would be, but the defenses definitely showed up well.
So the Lancers advanced. And then in our final senior game, you had Beacon Hill Cowboys against 5-star.
Yeah, birthday boy Coach Justin got his gift. Unfortunately, 5-star was way overmatched in that game. My hat's off to Coach Cole and his kids because first year 5-stars even been in the playoffs in the Northwest Premier League,
Right.
Senior
in the senior division.
Right.
So great showing by them. Great job on a successful year. But because Coach Justin and his boys
Came to play.
ready to roll, they came to play.
Yeah.
And Taylor running the ball hard.
Reset button's been hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Well, we'll go over to Rainier Beach, the Gray Division 2 and 3. CD and Benson, I heard, was a fist fight.
Yeah.
I heard that freshman game was close. It was physical, but Coach Terrell and CD Panthers pulled away with the victory in that freshman game. And then the sophomore game, Auburn ends up beating C-Tech, but C-Tech was winning 7-2 for the first half.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Yeah.
Auburn had a safety and against C-Tech, but it was 7-2, and I think they came back to win that game
15-7.
It was 15-7.
Yeah.
15-7.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah, that was a
a
dog
change
fight.
of the halves,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They came out, they adjusted, and they made the right adjustments at the right time, knowing that we got one half of football left,
Right.
and we got to make it count. So
Right.
again, a shout out to both of those teams. Auburn moving on to go to the conference championship. C-Tech, unfortunately, their road to the championship is going to end here, but
Great season, though.
they put it out on the
Yeah,
field.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
no,
right.
this is Coach Ron.
Coach Ron, okay.
Yeah,
Right,
Coach
right.
Ron and his team, they left it all on the field.
Yeah.
Then that junior game, I was present for that second part of this. CD with the win over Benson, but Benson was up when I got there halftime, 6-0.
Wow.
And it was a defensive battle.
Right.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It was 6-6. Fourth quarter, 1 minute, 10 seconds left on the clock. Matter of fact, back it up. About 1 minute 48 seconds. CD had the ball. They were getting close to the red zone. Offensive coordinator decided to call for a pass play, through the pass, interception. Benson.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yes. Benson gets the ball, and they do a couple of dives, and they get maybe 8 yards. To punt it, and the punt didn't go far. It hit someone's helmet with 6 yards, and CD picked the ball up and ran it into the end zone. 13-6
Wow.
victory.
Wow.
Last second. That's the kind of game
That's a heck of a
that
way
was
to.
happening over there.
Yeah, that's
So,
brutal.
serious games. Coach Scott, Coach Ed, he pulled it off. Coach Ron Burrows and his team, they played tough, man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that
again,
is.
that's a young team.
Right,
Made
right.
up primarily of fifth graders.
They are.
And, man, they put it out on the field. They was
Yeah.
in it. It could have went any way if they got into overtime
Right.
and had to do this.
Right.
Shootout.
The shootout, man. So, but great win, great defensive mindset by both teams. And it's just some speed on that CD team, man. They have some weapons, but great game. Then the senior game, I had to leave for this one, but CD ended up coming back to beat Lakewood 14-13. And my understanding, this was a game.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I was told from my guy, Ant Elmore, this
Yeah.
is probably one of the best games of the season.
Really?
He said Lakewood jumped on them 13-0 first half.
Wow.
Second half, CD comes out, scores third quarter. I believe they scored again in the fourth quarter. Lakewood went cold until the final minute. Lakewood gets the ball.
Of course.
They're moving the ball. They throw a pass with seconds left. Receiver catches the ball. He's running toward the end zone, and from my understanding, the ball got knocked loose.
What?
CD falls on top of it. Game over, 14-13.
Oh my God!
So Coach
One of those
Stewart, Coach
games.
Jimmy picked up a heck of a win.
Right.
Coach Milton, man, you
man.
guys came ready to roll.
Right.
Wow.
It's just that's a heartbreak.
Yeah, it is.
That's
a tough
one of
way.
those where
That's
you're
a tough
like,
way to
man,
lose.
Yeah.
I mean, you're literally 1 yard off.
Yeah,
How does that even happen? Wow,
that's a tough way to lose.
that is.
But it's been intense, man.
Yeah.
The game 2 or the 2 versus 3s. Now we're ready, you guys, to shift over to conference championships. And speaking of that, this Saturday we're going to have our Green Conference Championship game at Renton Stadium. Charles, you want to get up and point out who we got playing out there?
Green Conference. So
Give me your Kenny Smith job.
rub my knees together. Green Conference. We got freshmen. We got Lancer, the 1 seed, going up against the 2 seed at 9 a.m. And as you can see across the board here, it's pretty much chalk. We got all 1s versus 2s. So this thing is mapping out just right. No major upsets the first week in the playoffs. You got the Lancers again.
You got 4 teams in.
Yep, they got all 4 teams in. Congrats to the Lancers. You got the Lancers facing. That's going to be a great matchup. Like we said, Valmal,
Wow, yeah.
big boy in the
Yeah.
back. That's going to be interesting to see him go up against those No New boys over at 5 Star. That's going to be a great battle. 5 Star, the 1 seed at junior division versus the 2 seed Lancers. Another great battle. I think we're going to see. Honestly, I have no clue if that's going to be a low-scoring game or a high-scoring game because I think both defenses are very solid.
Right.
Seniors, we got Lancers versus Beacon Hill. That to me might be one of our games of the week right there. I'm looking forward to that. That we could see. You know, I know it wasn't a very close game the first game in the regular season, but I'm hoping for something different. I'm expecting something different. You know, a different outcome
Right.
in regards to the competitiveness and closeness of the game. So that's our Green Division playing Saturday at Renton Memorial, starting at 9 a.m. Sunday, our Gray Division, and we were fortunate to get Renton Memorial back, so we will be playing Sunday as well at Renton Memorial. Freshman game, we've got the Rainier Ravens versus CD Panthers, and big shout out to CD Panthers. As you can see, all 4 teams in the playoffs. Great job. So the Ravens, Panthers, freshmen, Panthers, Auburn, another great matchup here. It's sophomores.
That's a battle.
That's going to be a great battle.
Hey, these battles right here, all the way across.
All the way
I mean,
across.
you got Rainier Ravens in the freshman division, Coach Mack, going against Coach Terrell's CD Panthers. They're actually really both number 1 seeds.
Number 1 seeds went into quadruple overtime, regular season. I want to say, was it 7-7 tie? Something like that. It was a real low-scoring game.
Yeah.
But quadruple overtime, and it still ended up in a tie. That will not happen this week, I promise
Right.
you. We will go to shootout if these two teams end up in tie at regulation.
And then that sophomore game, man, Auburn only lost by 1 point. They were actually leading the whole game
Yes.
against CD. So this
That was at CD, I believe.
That was
too.
at Judkins.
Yeah.
They're going to be on turf.
Yeah.
We going to see what the speed and the power looks like and the passing. It's going to be kind of chilly from what I'm being told. So they dress warm. It's going to be
It's not supposed to
gonna be
rain,
cold.
but it is supposed to be in the mid-40s, I believe.
Yeah, so that's another matchup that's going to be a heck of a matchup.
Great game.
Then at junior division, you got SeaTac Sharks against CD. That was the game that was the Mud Bowl a couple weeks ago. Now it's on turf.
Yep. Faster track.
Let's see how this pans out.
Yep.
There's a lot there's a lot of parity in this. You know, it comes down to some serious competition. that's going to be also happening on Sunday. And then in that senior game, you have the Ravens and the CD, who actually both teams have a ton of athletes.
Yes. Right.
So realistically, I'm expecting this weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, to just be full of excitement, full of parity, and anything can happen.
Right. What was the result on that regular season matchup between Raven and CD?
The results
this year?
I believe it was 30.
I can't remember.
I believe it was 36 to 6, if I'm not mistaken, in that game. But the score doesn't tell. Coach Jimmy said he was making adjustments, so we will see what that looks like come playoffs. So we're waiting to see what that looks like. So real quick, you guys, special announcement. Also this Saturday, we have a bonus game at 5 p.m. This is Sam Adams, Rainier Ravens 14U squad. Their travel team will be hosting out of the Snoop League Baldwin Hills, the Bruins,
yes.
Which is one of the top teams in the country. They just both recently lost to Orange County.
They did.
So it's going to be interesting. I think both of them have a point to prove now.
They definitely do.
And Baldwin Hills comes up with some big receivers and a heck of a quarterback and some good speed.
Right.
This game's going to be at 5 p.m. The gate cost for that game is $10 at 5. But if you're there during the day, you get to stay. So it's $5 to get in during the day. So get there early. And
get good.
And if you bring a canned good, you get in for $4 because we're trying to raise support to help families in need within our community. We're going to be giving out turkeys right before Thanksgiving and providing some sides so families can have food this Thanksgiving between Seattle and Lakewood. So show up if you're able to and come and just enjoy the day. Now, I'm not going to promise you Snoop's going to be here because I haven't got word if Snoop is coming. So I hope that's not what's being said. I don't know if he's not coming either. So he could show up. So I don't know. This game is, again, an exhibition game.
He's not coming. He's going to Eastside Catholic game.
Is he going to Eastside Catholic? Yeah. Oh, okay. He said he's going to Eastside Catholic. Joey Thomas said he's going to Garfield. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, O'Day is saying he's going to be at their game.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
We don't know. We'll see, even if he's here. So, again, you guys come on out and support youth football. And just one last touch, real quick. All-Star Weekend will be coming in a couple of weeks.
Definitely coming fast.
November 17th through 19th. We're going to also have Northwest Flag happening. If your team, for the regional tournament, if you win that, you can go to the Pro Bowl and play.
The Seahawks are throwing in money.
And he said the Seahawks is throwing cash at folks if they win. So you guys may want to contact Charles about getting your team involved to play in that. And also cheer competition is going to be hype this year.
Yes, it is.
So make sure you guys stay tuned for all the things that we're going to be bringing your way. And again, my name is Clarence Presley. This is Deshaun Presley. This is Charles Burnham. We're signing out and hope we see you this weekend. God bless.
Thank you.